Example 2. So now we get to use the reciprocal identities to help us to find these different answers that we need. So the first one, A, is actually very simple and easy. So we said that cosine is this right here. And they want us to find our secant theta. So we know secant theta is the same thing as saying 1 over cosine theta. So that means all we're doing is, we know that cosine is 3 over 4. So it means it's going to be 1 over 3 over 4. And then if you just divide that, you would get that secant, because you do keep, change, flip, remember? It's just 4 over 3. Easy, simple, not hard. We got that one. Again, don't make that to a decimal, no decimals. All right, so now let's take a look at this sign, this one here. So they gave us cosecant this time, and they want us to find sine. So here, they want us to find sine theta. And we know that if, let's say, we know that sine is the reciprocal of cosecant. So in other words, if we had cosecant here, we know that's 1 over sine. But the opposite happens here, that sine would just be 1 over cosecant. So they're reciprocals of each other. So if sine is if cosecant is 1 over sine, sine is 1 over cosecant. And if you need me to show you that, call me over really quickly, stop the video, call me over, and I can show you why that works out, why this is true. So with this, if we go ahead and substitute the values in, we would get 1 over 1.345. And if you look at that, because it's a decimal they gave you already, that means our final answer is going to be a decimal answer. So sine theta would be 0.7435. So sine theta is 0.7435. So not bad, not hard at all. We can do that. All right, so let's go to our next example, which I think is on the next page. Yes, our next example. This one's a little bit more work to do, but this time, instead of us actually just them giving us one trig function, we have to find the other one. Now they give us a triangle and they say find the values of the 6 trig functions. So all 6 of them: sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, cotangent. They want you to find all of them. And so here we already know our SOHCAHTOA and all the great stuff. But again, before we can move forward and do anything, only thing we can do right now is just tangent and cotangent, because we don't have a hypotenuse yet. So we need to find this part first. So first find hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. All right. So again, we know we're using Pythagorean theorem. And here it doesn't matter like what part you do. You know that this side over here, we know this side over here is the hypotenuse. So it really doesn't matter as long as you have this side over here as your hypotenuse. And again, when we do our Pythagorean theorem is what I mean. Again, we know if this is angle N, this is side N. If this is angle P, across from that is side P. And if this is angle M, across from that is side M. Lowercase letters. All of them are lowercase. So when we do it, we should be able to figure out that P squared plus N squared equals M squared. And again, it doesn't matter on this side as long as you just have both the 2 legs over there. All right, so with that, if we were to do this, we know it is N is 10, so 10 squared. P is 7, so 7 squared. That's going to equal M squared. And if we were to work that out to figure out what M is equal to, we would say that that would be the square root of 149 equals m. And again, just like we did before, that's 100, that's 49, add them together, it's 149, take square root of both sides, and that gives us square root of 149. And there's no perfect square for a square root of 149, so therefore it stays as that radical. Do not simplify it down. Well, it cannot be simplified down, that's what I should say, what I mean to say. Cannot be simplified. So we keep it as it is. So now that we have all three sides, now we can go ahead and do 149. Make sure we can see that. So now we can do all 6 trig functions. Sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, cotangent. And why I'm writing these is so that the sine, we know, is reciprocal of cosecant. Cosine is a reciprocal of secant. Tangent is reciprocal of cotangent, and vice versa. So I'm writing it just that way to make sure. And if we need to, we haven't labeled them yet. So let's go ahead and label these two. And so here they want us to look at from angle P. So that's our reference angle. So that's that angle right there. That's our reference. That's what we're starting with. We're focusing with, making reference to it. So that means here that this is the opposite side. Is angle P again. That means this is the adjacent side. And that means we already know this is hypotenuse. So angle here, opposite of that is here. Adjacent means next to is right here. So adjacent is 10, opposite is 7, and hypotenuse is the square root of 149. Let's not do that part. Okay. So here, when we do everything, our opposite side again is 7. Our hypotenuse is square root of 149. And again, I'm just going to give you the answer because remember, we cannot have a radical in denominator. If you need me to come over and explain that to you, stop the video and have me come over. When it comes to cosine, again, that is adjacent of a hypotenuse, so 10 over square root of 149. And again, there I'm going to just go straight to the answer. And again, if you need me to explain, do it again. Call me over. And then the last one is tangent. And I think everything's just too close right here. So let me bring tangent down a little bit. And with this, when you're doing on paper, don't put them too close, please, so I can tell what's going on. And I've done these really close, and I shouldn't have done that. So my bad. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So tangent is the opposite over hypotenuse, opposite over adjacent, sorry. So opposite over adjacent, so that's 7 over 10. It's the only one we could have done from the get-go, from the beginning. All right, now, each one of these, all we have to do is go back to the original part here and flip them. So don't come here to the finished product. Go back to the original one and flip it, because here, if you go here, it means you're going to have extra work to do. We don't need that. So come back here to the original and flip them. So here that's square root of 149 over 7 for cosecant. Tangent is the square root of 149 over 10. And then cotangent is just 10 over 7. Easy. So if you know these and do all the hard work for this part will be easier. Okay, so pretty much that's our last example, but we have one more set of information that I need you to still get and everything, and then we'll be done with this section. Easy.